Hey everyone, Rich with Suns Down, back again to talk to you about some more Star Wars Unlimited, but from a judge's perspective and how to prepare yourself for the Galactic Championship or even the next round of PQs. So let's dive in and talk about what to do to get prepared for your big event. Step one is preparing your deck. Two of the most important things to start off with is knowing what deck you are bringing to play, and then having your SWU ID or Melee.gg account email on hand to ensure easy registration. This isn't where it ends, though. This is actually where it begins. Part of preparing your deck for organized play is preparing your deck list and sideboard. Whether you are playing 50 or more cards, ensuring your physical deck matches your deck list and your sideboard of 10 cards is correct as well is crucial to making sure that you are on point in case you are deck checked, but more importantly, that you are being a fair player. Easiest way is to have your deck list either printed or on screen and sort out each card in order by the amount that you are supposed to have, sideboard included. Step 2 is inspecting your physical deck. Once you know your deck and deck list are prepared, now it's time to check your cards and sleeves to prevent any issues that could arise. Starting with a very simple task, making sure that they all match. We get caught up in the excitement of building decks and getting prepared to go to big events, and sometimes we can overlook the small details. I do recommend new sleeves, and to be honest, it's a practice that I use often. I went to a PQ down in Columbus, and I didn't realize that the sleeves that I had were worn more than normal. So they did a deck check before the event started, and I had to ultimately replace those sleeves while I was there. So since then, I have done that as a best practice to ensure no further issues. Now, once you make sure that the sleeves all match, you want to make sure that your sideboard is sleeved in the same sleeves as your main deck. After you have made sure that it all matches, just do a quick check. Make sure that there are no signs of wear, nicks, bends, anything that would give you a tell of what card it could potentially be. Now, nobody's going to say that you are, but they're going to look for potentials that it could happen. Replacing the sleeves now is going to be the easiest time to do so. And bringing an extra set that match what you're using, or just a complete extra set to put on the deck in the event that you have multiple issues, is a safe bet. Sometimes that sleeves do tear while you're shuffling, and it's not super uncommon. Now, the next step kind of gets overlooked when we're getting prepared for an event, but step 3 is preparing your deck box. Once we have the other two out of the way, we can start preparing the deck box. But really, the only things that you want to have in there are your deck, which include your leader and base, sideboard, tokens and dice that you need for the event, and the promos that you have received for playing in said event. You don't want to have anything else inside your deck box, and you can actually get penalized for doing so. So just a quick reminder: remove anything, which could be, maybe sideboard potentials that you thought that you wind up not going with. So just pull it all out and simplify the process for yourself. Now, note taking is something that a lot of competitive players do more so than in casual tier events, but note taking is allowed for knowledge that you have gained, and or if you just want to remind yourself of something. But that can include, but not limited to, if you use an effect like Bazine and you see somebody's hand, you can just do a quick note. If you're searching their deck with, let's say, like Annihilator and after you remove something off the board and you're removing from their hand and deck, you can make a quick note, but you don't want to be writing down every single card that's in their deck. Keep it simplified. Think of something. Oh, hey, I've seen them play this card, but I haven't seen them play this card in most of those types of decks. So just make a quick note of that if you feel to do so. But that's something that you can use in note taking. But when you're doing so, you want to use a notebook. You do not want to have it folded over. You need to leave it open faced. So folding under either the front page of your booklet or the most recent page that you've used. And then make sure that the opponent can see that at all times. You can also use an electronic device, but the electronic device cannot receive text, so airplane mode and it cannot lock. So you have to remove the timer and or timeout function of it, and it has to be visible to your opponent at all times, just like if you were handwriting notes. So the last thing isn't about getting your deck ready. It's not about playing. Well, in a sense, it is, but um, it's preparing yourself for a long day. So whether you plan to play in the main event or grind outside events, we saw this happen in the sectors and regionals that I was judging, but even in the Galactic Championship, there's the opportunity to do that and skip that main event. But you want to prepare yourself to be there all day if you really want to get into the nitty gritty and grind out prize tickets or try to win it all. So, to do so, you really want to make sure that you're bringing enough money to either have food, water, beverages to ensure that you're staying hydrated, and if you have any special dietary needs, that you have those with you as well. Wear attire that is not only comfortable but appropriate. Make sure to be aware of your own personal hygiene before heading into the day. A lot of these events, it's hit or miss whether they're cold and the AC is plentiful or if it gets hot and sticky in there. So at regional in Minnesota, it was very warm the first day. Second day, AC kicked on, worked like a champ, and it was kind of chilly, to be honest. And usually I'm pretty warm. So for me, it was nice to be a little cooler on that second day. But those are things that we don't really think about when we're preparing for these events. But just like the forward think on that, make sure you have everything that you need. You're not hungry, you're not cold, you're not hot. And then make sure that you have the appropriate attire. So things that maybe think about if your grandma would be upset with you if you wore to Thanksgiving and things like that. But lastly, a quick reminder, the judges are there to help you at the event. They're not there to spoil your fun. We're there because we enjoy the game. We want to see people have fun. We want to see people enjoy it, but we want to see people enjoy it in a fair setting. So we're not out there to be like, "Hey, you made a misplay. What are you doing?" No, we just want to make sure that with some of these tricky situations, piloting at sectors was a hot button for people. They still had some questions about how it functioned and how the costs when you're trying to refer to what something costs, on the top left corner of the card, but they thought they could use the pilot's alternate cost. So those are things that we're there to help out with. We're not there to make you feel bad, but we don't want you to feel like you can't call us over for judge calls, for questions, even if it's like, hey, does this work like I think it works? Just do it. You'll be surprised with the answer sometimes. We don't know, what you're going to attempt to do, and we're not there to ruin that for you. So we just want you to have a good time. But uh, really, I hope this video has helped you prepare for your first event, or if it's your 50th event. It's really something that, as a judge, I started to notice that some players that were coming to the sectors and regionals, and they're like, "Hey, this is my first event. I wish I had known X, Y, or Z." So I kind of took that and put it together to help everybody, especially with SWU being a new game. There's a lot of veteran players out there, a lot of teams, but there are also a lot of people that had never been to bigger events. Maybe they dabbled in like Lorcana or Magic. Those are things that not everybody has done. So it's a great time. I wish everybody was able to enjoy it. Unfortunately, traveling a lot is super expensive sometimes, but I hope it helped. I hope that above all that you treat people how you want to be treated and enjoy the game and have fun. And until next time, mulligan responsibly.